By the way, congratulations. You have our most viewed TikTok thus far. I'm
Oh, what
empty.
is it?
I'm empty.
Hmm.
The one you posted of the breaking news of our truth. We
Oh,
got
nice.
lucky and recorded like as soon as the news broke,
Right.
so we were able to have a whole ass episode out, at a
I
good
will
time.
I will say your boy called it
You
with
did.
Carlito being next. Um and I know we're not talking tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw, but spoiler alert, Carlito was not in the clubhouse. The PS5 is gone, so we know that the PS5 was actually Carlito's. WWE also getting rid of Valhalla, Sarah Logan.
Wow.
Uh which I mean, I don't know when the last time we saw her was. To be fair, I think maybe she's hurt, but
It's just so weird that because it just feels like it's coming out of nowhere.
yeah,
But business is business. Go ahead and listen to our last episode where we dive into our truth being released and then just kind of talking about if age played a factor and if so, then why were other people still hired and could other people be next? And like Miggy said, he mentioned Carlito and he was right. So,
I will say, and then we can then we'll talk about something else. I will say that Busted Open this morning had the best possible idea for our truth.
oh, tell me.
So imagine our truth gets signed by AEW, but has no idea that he is not in WWE anymore. And the way that Bully described it, he's like, what if he goes to Tony Khan's office? They say, hey, Mr. Khan wants to see you. He goes to Tony Khan office and he's like, where's Nick? And then he calls MJF the Miz, um
He's
tries to
on
team up with
Dynamite.
tries to team up with MJF. He talks to Dynamite and he's like, "Oh, all right, I'm here at AEW Nitro. Nice."
Yeah, yeah.
I
Dude, that
don't
would
think
be
that will
funny.
happen, but it is literally the best possible idea. I did also watch a clip too, and I forgot that. I think I called him Chronic yesterday, or whenever we
It was
recorded
K
it.
Quick.
It was K Quick, um, and I forgot his debut was with the Road Dog.
Oh, so that's probably why the post was a little emotional on Road Dog's
Hmm.
side. All
Well,
right.
and they were a killer. They were a killer tag team in TNA in the early days of TNA. The two of them
You remember
before
what they
Billy
were
Gunn.
called?
Um, I can tell you right now because I do. It's on the tip of my tongue. It was before. Um, it was before Billy Gunn came to TNA.
Well, while Miggy looks that up, everyone, please like this video, subscribe, comment. We put new videos out pretty much like it feels like every other day, but we always got shit coming out. So go ahead and
Oh, it
hit
was
that
just
button.
BG James and Ron Killings.
Nice.
But
That's
he
okay.
tagged with Pac-Man Jones too. Oh, and then he was in Three Live Crew with Conan and Road Dog, not Two
Right
Live
on.
Crew, um, the world famous group.
Well, so this is a good segue because you brought up TNA. Let's talk about the TNA title picture. You were
Um,
mentioning how you wanted Santana to be the TNA World Champ before NXT this last week.
uh, and I still do. He is challenging Trick Williams tomorrow for the NXT um for the TNA championship. Um, what's the pay per view that I'm seeing on? Oh, Against All Odds is this Friday night, and we probably should talk about that too on Wednesday. But so Mike Santana, right? Always throughout his whole entire career, a tag team guy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when he left AEW, there was a lot of turmoil because him and Ortiz,
Ortiz.
I can't remember what their tag team name is off the top of my head.
LAX, bro. Wasn't it
LAX,
LAX?
thank you. Yeah. Um, they were one of the best tag teams ever. People wanted them to go to WWE so that they could fight the Usos, so that they could, because they already had done stuff with the Bucks. They've already done stuff everywhere. They wanted them in WWE. They went over to AEW. Ortiz hasn't done anything since Santana left. Since they had a real falling out in real life. Santana now in TNA goes over to do a match in NXT, and apparently the rumor has it is that he's going to be one of the next guys that WWE picks up. This is his one chance here to really make it big time, and it's going to be in this match with Trick Williams. And I don't think Trick Williams really needs to have the TNA championship. I think it was good for the shock factor, but I do think that Trick Williams is one of the next guys that is brought up in this draft.
So you think Trick
Or
Williams
even
holds
if
it
they
for
even
like
do a
what,
draft.
2 weeks?
Yeah. If that. Mike Santana comes, Mike Santana defeats him on NXT and then goes on to fight Elijah at the Against All Odds pay-per-view. But I am upset is I'm not seeing, Joe Hendry really get a second chance at this.
Well, I was just
Um,
gonna say I don't think they take it off of Trick Williams because Mike Santana he's been there a long ass time, and when I say there, I mean like he's a veteran, like he's been wrestling a very long time. Uh, I think this would be the equivalent of like a Dustin Rhodes going up against Takeshita for Takeshita's title or the one that he used to have before he lost it. You know what I mean? Like I think it's just it's a good way to showcase Trick Williams, but I don't know. I just can't see them taking it off of Joe Hendry for a short reign for a guy who's not even one of their guys. You know what I mean?
yeah, I guess I could see that. I just don't think that there's a story there. Like, I don't think there's enough time for a story between Trick Williams and Elijah going into one of the TNA's biggest shows of the entire year, which is Against All Odds, and their first time back in the desert in 13, 14, yeah, 13 years, 14 years.
Wait, so is Elijah like he's just waiting in the wings? Is he number one contender or
He's the
something?
number one contender. So whoever wins this match goes on and takes on Elijah on Friday night. Um, yeah, and I don't honestly. I mean, I'm going to be a little disappointed if I would much rather see Mike Santana and Elijah because they have history in TNA versus Trick Williams or I don't know. I don't know. Much rather see if they're gonna go this route, right? Where NXT um an NXT superstar holds the TNA champion. Oh, okay. Hear me out. I'm segueing here for a second because I just had this phenomenal idea. I want to see then if the NXT champion, and there's been a lot of criticism here that TNA is getting the short end of the stick. Um, yeah, getting the short end of the stick here. I would like to see the NXT guys and gals win every single championship that TNA has. Give me Wesley with the X Division championship. Give me um Charlie Dempsey with the international championship. Somebody, for the love of God, take the championship off of Masha Slamovich
Masha.
because she pushed me out of the way. And I don't think Nick Nemeth and his pretty boy brother need to be in Arizona, their hometown right now, with these tag team championships also. I want, give me I don't know. I don't even know who the tag teams are in NXT right now at this point because Hank and Tank defeating the Nemets. And then keep this going until November and add a winner take all TNA NXT match at Survivor Series.
So then TNA could have the chance to win all of NXT's belts,
Um.
and we're back to square one.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
This is
I don't know. In my
long-term
head,
booking, buddy.
I just want some crazy warfare
You
style
want you want
story.
TNA to be buried and resurrected within 1 year.
Yes.
All right.
And then for AJ Styles to, well, AJ Styles is next to get released. I'm calling that too. Um,
Not going along with
and
Seth Rollins' plan.
yeah, AJ Styles and Karrion Cross. Those might be. I don't know. AJ Styles, I think, is next. I would love to see. I want AJ Styles to have the AEW. I want AJ Styles to retire with the TNA World Championship back to where he started. It's not gonna happen. If AJ Styles leaves, he goes right over to AEW.
You're gonna make
Um,
it. You're gonna make it move, buddy, with that kind of talk, that kind
but
of dirty talk.
I know, but we could break down the full card when we talk later on in the week because this show is gonna be good, regardless of how bad the main event's gonna be if Trick Williams keeps the championship. Mainly because Santino Marella is wrestling. That should be the main event.
Well,
Um,
let's get into because we're spending a lot of time here on what's gonna happen in TNA. Let's move over to Dynamite, or we could talk about Cody and his little tag team
no,
rendezvous thing with John
let's talk
Cena.
Dynamite and Collision. Mainly the most important story here is our friend of
Friend
the
of the podcast.
podcast,
Now
Tony
I'll say
Storm.
this. So I'm watching Dynamite and I'm watching this promo. The promo itself was a miss, and it was Mercedes
You
that was a
think
miss for
so?
me. But
Okay, yeah,
yeah,
that's fair.
that's what it was. It was that cringiness that was back, but Tony was doing what she does, and it was awesome. I will say, Mercedes, I think it was, said that they're going to have the best women's match of all time. I'm kind of curious because I think they actually could if they wanted to.
Um,
I think they could do it because
when
no matter what Mercedes Monet says or how she says it or what, uh, dude, between the ropes, she's still who she's always been. Then you got Tony Storm, who's just, hotter than ever. And I think they could do it.
well, I'll say this. Um, they had a match. When was it? They had a match in WWE, and I remember distinctly because they were hugging at the end of it. But part of me makes it feel like it was a tag team match, maybe. Uh, but I remember distinctly there's a photo of them hugging at the end of it, and I don't know. I think the problem I have with it is this: who is the best character? Can you name the? I need you to do me a favor. I need you to rank the top five most entertaining AEW stars on the top of your head.
Tony Storm.
Okay, so she won.
Well, she's just the first one that came to mind, and the five names.
Okay.
Harley Cameron, the puppet's over.
Yep.
Um, Hangman, Mm. Kenny Omega, dude, he's still one of my favorites. And then I'll uh Swerve.
Okay.
Those
I would
probably
argue,
aren't the names you were kind of thinking
well,
because
it
you
was.
said entertaining. Like, I feel you were probably talking sports entertainment, and I gave you three more like wrestlers.
No, the thing is that you had to think about it, right? But maybe it was because we
Yes.
were talking about Tony Storm regardless, but I think Tony Storm is the most, I've said it a million times. In
Well,
professional
she's the best
wrestling today,
character. She's the best character
she
because
is
she
the
actually
most
has one.
entertaining. Yes. The problem I have is that she is the most entertaining character by far in AEW. But they threw all this money at Mercedes Moné, and she has all of these championships that I think it's hard to assume that they're not going to go full belt collector style on her too. Um, and have her, because if it's up to me, Tony Storm holds the title for years.
I
But
don't
it's
I
other.
oh man, I don't know because in my like you brought up they threw a bunch of money at her. They threw a bunch of money at Nash and Hogan and Hall too, and just having them win all the time and shit didn't work out for anybody really in the long run
Yeah,
except for those three guys. So if they're throwing all this money at her, they should be saying we need you to help put over new people and create new stars because you're one of the biggest stars in the world and we're asking you to do that because we just gave you a shit ton of money.
yeah,
That's what
that's a
that's
good
how
point.
I would do it. But
I'm
I
just,
don't know nothing.
I think that the promo, like you said, the promo itself was, um, I like the promo, but I think that you're right. I think that Tony Storm carried the promo. She carried that argument. She carried the whole entire segment. Um, which she does normally. I mean, outside of that, I will say this. I know we just talked TNA. We're not even going to touch on last week's Raw because it was so bad. We're only going to talk about one thing on SmackDown. I will argue this, and you look at everything that took place on Dynamite, right? You had this incredible segment from with Adam Page and Osprey and Swerve and
Yeah,
the fallout
that was
all
a
from
good
Double or
segment.
Nothing. You had this awesome, entertaining um match. This is the third time they've done this match between Megan Bayne, Penelope Ford, Harley Cameron, and Anna Jay. Harley Cameron breaks her nose this time around. This is the third time they did that match, and it was just as entertaining as the first couple times. And they even had some like weird matches, like the Ops and the Frat House made their debut. You had Adam Cole and Kyle Fletcher. Looks like they're going after each other. You had a killer, insane match between Josh Alexander and Brody King. It was awesome, and they're going into Fighter Fest, and I'm not even talking about Collision. There's nothing even significant really to talk about in Collision outside of the Tony Storm stuff, and it's leading into a tag team match this week with Julia Hart and Sky Blue versus Mina Shirakawa and Tony Storm. Um, AEW wins the week for the best. It was where the best wrestled. It was where the best story was. It was everything, and they're even still going on with they just had the Stadium Stampede, and that should have been the end of the Death Riders. But at the same time, there's still Samoa Joe. They're all still talking about the Death Riders. That it looks like that's all going to continue too. But and that annoys me. But at the same time, it's much better than anything that's going on in WWE right now. I could care less about Seth Rollins and
Same.
big
And dude,
his triple B's, big beautiful bodyguards.
the entrant they I know we're gonna talk about it next week, but dude, they gave Braun and Bronson new entrance music.
Yeah,
Maybe it was there last week, or the week before, and I just didn't notice it. Bro, how do you take away
and the
Braun
Judgment Day
Breaker's entrance?
again. Yeah.
Anyways,
Um,
but yeah, no,
and
it's I think Double or Nothing was a real at least for me, it was a real kick in the ass. And, I want to start watching Dynamite again. I watched it last week and I loved it. I loved the Hangman Osprey thing. A couple little like nitpicky things, but I would do that to fucking any show I watch. Um, I am kind of like, I don't know, maybe this is just me, but this kind of has like WrestleMania 40 vibes where Cody's gonna win, and I feel like I
Mhm.
know Hangman's gonna win at All In because it's like their biggest show and stuff. But I just don't know if I feel like Hangman is like the hero. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think Hangman wins.
You don't. You think Mox keeps it?
I think Mox keeps it, and then they beat down Hangman, and at the end, Darby Allin comes back, and then at the next, what is it? After that is All Out.
Oh yeah, like a week or two later.
Yeah, and then that's when Darby Allin takes it.
Okay, I like that.
But yeah, it's just the better show because you know what I did at the start of Monday Night Raw tonight? You know what I was doing?
What'd you do? What'd you
I
do?
took a nap, and then I went and picked up dog crap, and then then I turned Raw on and just fast forwarded through the stuff that I wanted to see. You know what I did on Friday night before SmackDown?
What'd you do?
I I took a nap, and
Hmm.
then I watched something else on TV while I played SmackDown on my phone and just looked at it a little bit. But I did catch that final segment. I don't know if you want to jump to that or not.
I don't even care. John Cena and Logan Paul are teaming up against a returning Cody and Jay, and it is what it is.
Yeah, well, it's stupid. It's stupid,
It's
and it
not
should have been.
the whole reason why it's stupid. It's not even that I think the match is going to be bad or that the story doesn't make sense. It's just the story is not what anyone wanted. We are in
No.
John Cena's farewell tour. What are we dicking around with this tag team match for? This so far is a huge drop of the ball. This whole thing. I have not recovered from WrestleMania. Maybe I'm just a terrible fan and I just need to get over myself. But it's just so mediocre.
And it's just finding something to do with the champions. It would have been better if they would have been able to pull off Travis Scott and any other celebrity at all. Metro Boomin would have been good. Um, any other celebrity to throw in here just to make it make sense.
Hmm.
Because if this whole thing doesn't pay off with Cody beating up Travis Scott, then what's the point?
Well,
Um,
I think you're gonna see because Logan Paul put his hands on Cena and Cena evil eyed him a little bit, and so I think you're gonna see Logan Paul piss off John Cena. Cena beats the shit out of everybody, and Cena's kind of like he's the last man standing, walks out, something like that.
he's an
And
anti-hero like the Peacemaker.
or, one thing that I noticed, and maybe it's just, maybe it is a thing, maybe it's just something I hadn't picked up on in another post WrestleMania WWE show, but John Cena mentioned The Rock. Or no, Cody mentioned The Rock. I'm sorry.
He did.
He mentioned the final boss. And then on Raw tonight, they also mentioned CM Punk mentioned a bald headed fraud, and he was talking about The Rock. So there is hope for some sort of full
I don't
circle
think so.
here. But
I have
see,
no
that's what
hope.
I'm saying. They keep jerking my chain.
And I don't think there's any reason to have if Jey Uso is feuding with Seth Rollins and his guys, there's no reason to have him in this match at all. Um, it's just to throw him in a match. There's not because why couldn't it have been if that's the case, if Cody needed a partner, why wouldn't he choose somebody like Randy Orton who just like why wouldn't Randy Orton be like who just got beat by a John Cena who cheated be the one to help him, and then you could have John Cena versus Legacy or something like
And has Randy Orton been back since he lost at Backlash?
no,
So what? Randy Orton, who's already pushing it, is just on the shelf.
Yeah, well, he's what's it called? He's in his mid 40s, so he's gonna get released. Um,
We were
I don't
supposed
know.
to
There's
get.
just
Oh, Triple H was
and
not supposed to do Randy like that.
and on Monday Night Raw next week here in Phoenix, Jey Uso has a title match against Gunther. So it's like at this point, you have Seth chasing Jey, Gunther chasing Jey, Logan Paul chasing Jey. What does he have to do with John Cena? Why does it matter? Why is he in there? Just because Logan Paul's in there? There's a
Yeah,
million
how
people
many?
on the roster you could have beat up Logan Paul if you needed to.
Well, and yeah, if Jay's got three people, four technically if you count Cena and Logan Paul.
Yeah.
So he's got four people gunning for him, and he's tag teaming with Cody, who he helped for years. And Cody finally loses. Now Jay can't focus on the thing that he finally got, which is a singles title. And I'm sorry. It seems like every pay per view is just becoming a glorified house show, and every Raw and SmackDown we're just phoning shit in.
Yeah. So outside of that line where what is he gonna do? Go polish what are you gonna do? Go backstage and polish his peacemaker? Um it sucked. All of it sucked. Um I don't know, man. I and going into Raw, and again, I said this last time. I don't know if I can justify it. This might be the very first Raw. This might be the very first major professional wrestling event taking place in Arizona. That includes Raws. That includes SmackDown. That includes NXT. That includes GCW. That includes TNA, AEW. Um, all of those shows. This might be the very first one that I miss. And so I'm going to pose this question out there to the friends of the podcast,
To the echo chamber.
to the echo chamber. Is Monday Night Raw next week in Phoenix worth spending over $200 for when you're going to sit in the nosebleeds? Let us know. I'm going to clip this because that's a whole nother conversation we need to have. The
Yep.
price of wrestling tickets and how we're being priced out of WWE tickets.
We got
Us
into that a
freaks
little bit
want to
last
watch wrestling.
episode.
We did, but I think we need to at some point take a deeper dive into it if it continues because
Bring our
us
receipts.
freaks, we need cheaper seats. $200 just seems like a lot for a Raw where Gunther and Jey Uso is going to be the main event. That's all I have to say. Let us know if you think it's worth sitting in the nosebleeds for over $200.
Alrighty. Well, buddy, we are ahead of schedule. Is there anything else you
Yeah.
want to talk about, or is this going to be
I,
a how's
I
this
think it
fake
might be.
light version?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pissed off now thinking about how much WWE sucks right now, and and then it sucks because the next episode, right, we're gonna do later on in the week. We have to talk about the TNA show we just said Against All Odds. That's quick, but there's two major WWE shows this weekend that we have to break down. And I think the better of the two shows is going to take place at, I don't know, 9 in the morning here. And I
Yeah,
don't even know half the people on the show. And that's going to be the better of the two shows. So be on the
we don't
lookout for
have.
that.
Well, we don't even have to talk about it. We don't have a boss. If we don't want to talk about it, we don't have to talk about it.
I
Why
think
do
we
we
have to
have
talk
to
about it.
contribute to the mediocrity?
I think our listeners need to hear me complain about the final Money in the Bank cards or the final Money in the Bank card.
All right, we'll make it happen. But yeah, nothing.
Nothing else crazy really took place this week. It was kind of a terrible last week in wrestling.
Except for
We are
Dynamite.
in, except for Dynamite, we are in the post WrestleMania slump. The biggest one that we've had ever.
You know what
I
make
would even say that they followed up WrestleMania 36 better than they're doing right now. I would even argue,
oh,
and I would even argue that maybe WrestleMania 36 was better than 41, which says a lot because we were there.
And WrestleMania 41 was great until the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what we can bitch about right now that has nothing to do with any of the shows or anything? The news that we were texting. I wonder if they could hear me scratching my scruff in the microphone. Uh, we got to talk about these tables.
But we can talk about the tables if you want to.
For those of you that don't know, I thought it was a joke at first because someone made a meme on Facebook, and then so I texted Miggy and I was like, I know this is fake, but like, haha, or whatever. He came back with the full press release and said, read the second paragraph, and it was legit as fuck. So
Mm-hmm.
pretty soon, your favorite WWE superstar could be snapping somebody through a Slim Jim table. What the fuck? What the? And they're doing the announce tables are now called reinforced announce tables.
Which are they reinforced if somebody can slip right through them?
Can we take if the table's not going to break and it's just a hard surface? Can we not have a announce table spot in every other match? Can somebody
I
not
think they're
jump
gonna
on it?
have to. I think that we're gonna have a um I think we're gonna have a table spot every single show because Slim Jim paid a lot of money.
Who's the first person to snap into a Slim Jim table? Do you think there's a wrestler in the back going, "Let it be me"? If they're smart, yeah, because they can make a gif out of themselves. Little self
I
promotion.
honestly I don't know if one took place tonight.
Oh yeah,
So
we started recording right before that triple threat main event
yeah,
started.
I know it didn't take place before the triple threat main event. Um, but I don't know if it took place um tonight or not. I mean, they're really I don't know, man. I think honestly too. I mean, if I know we're not talking about tonight's episode of Raw, but it also sucked. So at least up until that, even something we've been talking about a lot that we're proud of and impressed with, the Bird Lady, Lyra Valkyria defeating or
Yeah.
and Becky Lynch. Even that segment sucked.
Well, I loved everything that Lyra did, but it was Becky who brought it down. I don't know what the fuck Becky's saying.
No,
Like when Lyra said she was delusional and then Becky came out and started saying whatever she was saying, I was like, yeah, she's not making any sense. And it's not like in a promo, well, I mean it's not like I think her character is crazy. It's just I literally could not I don't know what it was, but I was just not understanding what point she was trying to make in the promo. Maybe I wasn't paying
um,
enough attention. I don't know. Damn. I wish I would have cared.
should we spoil it? Should we just talk? Um, I'm looking now because now I got to know if somebody went through a freaking table. Hold on, please hold. Play the hold music.
Do 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 do. Step into a Slim Jim. How is this fake? Please subscribe to our show. By the way, I forgot to upload the last two to Spotify, so sorry to all our Spotify listeners. It's just that everyone watches YouTube most of the time, so I've been focusing on that, and I'm sorry I didn't get to it, but that's okay because I
All
see the
right,
numbers.
nobody went through a table, so then I'm throwing out there the first person that goes through a Slim Jim table. Oh, it can't be Chelsea Green anymore.
You know what they should have done? They should have future endeavored our truth after he got slammed through the Slim Jim table, and then everyone they release, that's like the sign. If you get put through the Slim Jim table, you get released.
Oof.
I
I
like
don't
it.
know.
I like
I
it.
don't know
That's
who.
some
I do
Vince
like it.
Russo type thinking.
I do like that. Man,
What do you got, by the way? It looks so good. Is that tea?
whiskey and cherry Dr. Pepper.
God, that sounds delicious.
It was
Why have a
pretty good.
stupid geyser water that's room temperature?
Oh, it sounds so amazing though. They still have geyser water?
Crystal geyser, man.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like the geyser flavored water.
Geyser flavored water?
You ever had
What does
that
it
geyser
taste
flavored
like?
like Propel?
Oh, see here, I'm thinking geyser like oh no, glacier.
Glacier.
Whatever the
Glacier.
fuck, dude.
As in the WCW Mortal Kombat crossover.
Ninja Turtles were also in WCW.
They were? They
I
were?
believe so. It was the
I'm pretty
Ninja
sure.
Turtles, and then I think
The Power Rangers were supposed to be on Raw. We talked about that at one point. I forget why, but they were supposed to be.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But buddy, that's about all the time we got.
All right, man. We
What a dud. Not for us, but for everyone
for
else.
everybody else. Um yeah, let us know too. Okay, wait, hold on. Hold on. We'll clip this too. We're gonna have two questions of the week. The first one will be the other one that I asked. Is it worth the money? Second one, here's your How Is This Fake podcast question of the day. Who do you think goes through the first WWE slash Slim Jim branded table? Let us know that in the comments also. And
Hell
follow us
yeah.
everywhere. HITF Pod. This is fun, buddy.
You know, if they really wanted to go all out with a Slim Jim thing, they just get a giant Slim Jim that is snappable, and you just
Send them
slam them
through the Slim
through
Jim.
the Slim Jim. Don't
Yeah.
put the logo on the table.
And then
Snap
you
them
just switch
through a
it.
Slim Jim.
Yeah. Slam them through a Slim Jim. That's it. Yeah. Oh, I love it.
All right, buddy. I'll cut.
All right. Later, buddy.